Calaroga Shark Media.
This Chris Rock thing is getting weirder and weirder. Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. A source tells People that the reports that Chris Rock stormed off in a huff, those are untrue. The reason he left is because children were in the audience. An onlooker tells People he didn't storm off. He did stop performing, but he wasn't angry. He simply put the mic down and walked away. Well, then the story goes on to say that the reason he left was people were filming him, which was the original story, so I don't know why People is saying anything about children in the audience. And the reason given for not wanting anyone to film is that he was working out material, and I'll go back to what I said yesterday. If I'm paying you to come all the way to Australia, and I'm a billionaire, I don't want you to work out material. I don't know what's going on. A lot of the country is fascinated with Luigi Mangione, accused of shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Taylor Tomlinson on her show admitted that, like a lot of people, she found the guy physically attractive. She said, one picture can be deceiving. I've been on dating apps for a long time. I'm going to need to see 4 to 6 more photos, okay? Anyone can take one sexy blurry candid right before they commit a murder. Everyone has one of those. That's funny. She continues, it turns out he actually got caught because an employee recognized him and phoned the police. Do you have any idea how attractive you have to be for a McDonald's employee to be like, wait, okay, you being in here is suspicious. I'm surprised anyone turned this guy in, considering all the thirsting after him online. I mean, every post about this guy just straight up calls him sexy. Maybe this was his undoing. I mean, if everyone on the internet was talking about how hot I am, I'd also be lingering in public spaces. That might be the key to catching criminals. Let's pretend we think they're all super hot. Maybe they'll just turn themselves in. Michael Costa said, it's surprising that he comes from such a privileged background. He's not really the kind of guy you'd expect to become a murderer. I mean, I'd expect him to crash the housing market, but not kill a guy. Stephen Colbert went silly. You know what they say, snitches get filet-o-fishes. Joe Rogan commented on this and said, I don't think the guy was a professional. I think this guy, if I had to guess, was some guy who got effed over. Apparently, that company's really bad at denying claims. His guest film producer, Roger Avery, said, I don't think anybody's going to be crying too hard over this. Rogan said, maybe his family, that's about it. It's a dirty, dirty business. The business of insurance is effing gross. It's gross, especially healthcare insurance. It's effing gross. All right, we not only have to get Nikki Glaser's publicist a raise, we have to get Nikki Glaser's publicist 2 raises. There's clearly a campaign going on right now. We've already seen 2 news organizations name Nikki Glaser Comedian of the Year. I've spoken my piece on that. If you missed that, the short version is, it's not ridiculous, but it's not the right call either. Tomorrow, I'll tell you about a big wax job of her car in Rolling Stone. Today, it's the Hollywood Reporter. Nikki was at the Hollywood Reporter's annual Women in Entertainment Gala and said, when I was told I'd been chosen as one of the Power 100 women in Hollywood, I was so incredibly honored. And then I said, which number am I? And they said, it didn't work that way. You're all equal. And I said, okay, if that's the case, then can I sit at Nicole Kidman's table? And that's when the correspondence ended. A breakfast gala for women in Hollywood? We don't even eat that meal. That's funny. But truly, what better time to honor women than at 8 a.m. before the industry is awake in that coveted post-Thanksgiving pre-Christmas Hollywood dead zone? We are women in Hollywood. Hear us roar, but not too loudly because the hotel has a quiet policy enforced until 9 a.m. Also very funny. I love being in full glam at the crack of dawn. What am I supposed to do the rest of the day looking like this? Usually women who look this done up at 7 a.m. aren't entering the Beverly Hills Hotel. They're leaving with a wad of cash and a fun story about Charlie Sheen. This is really strong material. This very speech I'm giving right now might have been 20% better had I not had to prepare my body to even stand up before you and give it. It's hard to write a speech on the same day you have to get a spray tan, do a fitting, get your nails done, and bleach your, read ahead, Johnny. A thing you might bleach. Not going there. And she tagged it with, I guess I didn't need to do that last one. Woo, we almost had a train wreck here on Daily Comedy News. I got to pre-read these stories. Next one, a little hacky. Oh, Colin Farrell's so dedicated to his craft that he spends 3 hours on the makeup chair to transform into the Penguin. That's how long it takes me every day to make sure I don't look like the Penguin. Rob Schneider has plans to launch a show to compete against The View. Rob has a book called You Can Do It, and he was on Fox News and disclosed that his company, No Apologies Media, we're going to do an all-ladies talk show, and it won't be like The View. It'll be the opposite because it'll be entertaining. It'll be funny. We're going to have funny women on it that'll tell jokes and have funny stories and health and wellness. Schneider describes The View as interesting as a Hunter Biden painting made of his own feces. Whew, hilarious. And said his show will focus on making people laugh rather than shaming them for their politics. People are sick of it. We're going to have an entertaining show with people from all over America. We're not just trying to bring people who are angry and bitter and reinforcing their political echo chamber. Then he was on Twitter and said, we will be a show that will not be a narrow view or what you've had to endure all these years, a single view that scolds and demeans those that have a differing view. This will be a show for, all caps, all of us! 2 exclamation points. Netflix announced 2 more specials. Gabe Fluffy Iglesias will get one. It's called Legend of Fluffy. Hey, Gabe, love you. You're falling into the Gaffigan zone where Gaffigan called like 9 specials in a row, pale something. Tap the brakes on the Fluffy. Just do something else for a change. All right? I guess this one's already announced. Next one, we're not going to put Fluffy in the title. Okay, Gabe, love you. Worked with you on the Comedy Central Lost. You're a good guy. Everybody likes you, but enough with the Fluffy. Legend of Fluffy will premiere January 7th. Liza Trayger will have her special Night Owl on Netflix January 28th. Liza's special touches on her friends who are parents, hating other people's husbands, and lying to herself about how high she really is. I got a lot done the other night. First of all, the Indiana Jones video game is the pinnacle of human civilization. This is it. We have topped out. There will be no greater art. There will be no greater entertainment. It's all downhill for humanity from this peak of the Indiana Jones video game. So I played that for 2 hours. And then after a while, my eyes hurt. So I'm like, I'll watch some TV. And I put on Jamie Foxx's special. I almost bailed about 7 minutes in. Then he went into an amazing Cat Williams impression. Jamie can do voices really well. The cat stuff kept me around. Then there was a next part. Now go back and watch it. He goes into a little bit of a preachy, soulful, thoughtful part. But notice that the camera zoomed in. And what caught my ear, and I do this for a living, the room's dead. I suspect, possibly, perhaps, maybe, that's an insert that was filmed in an empty theater. I don't think the audience was there for that part. I feel like that was filmed separately and cut into the main special. Why do you say that, John? The room is too dead. A lot of times what you'll do in recording is you will record what's called room tone. And then if you have to do any sort of production, you have the natural sound of what a room sounds like, and you can underlay it under whatever you're doing. Also, we've all been to shows. If he went into a big soulful thing like that, somebody would have yelled out, "Go, Jamie," or "We love you," or "Woo," or something. There would have been some noise. It's too quiet. I also, and I feel like a jerk saying this, but I also think there was a performance there when Jamie went into the part of, please, Lord, let me get through this. I'll remind you, he's an Academy Award winning actor. Then I started skimming through it. I came away thinking I need more comedy in my comedy. For what he set out to do, I think it's a very, very good version of what he set out to do in terms of, hey, is this a comedy special I want to spend an hour with? It wasn't, so I moved on. It will not make my end of the year list, but I think it was a good version of what he set out to do. I switched over to Fortune Feimster. Lasted about half an hour. It's fine, if you're not a comedy snob, it's perfectly fine hour. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing bad to say about it. It's funny enough, but just, I'd play 2 hours of video game and already watched Jamie, and I was like, all right, I'm good on this one. I got a feel for what this one is. And then I watched Matthew Broussard's, which was the best of the 3. That one's on YouTube. Excellent writing there, funny jokes, couple actual laughs out of me. So that's my favorite of the 3. That said, it also won't make my end of the year list. Not that it's bad, but I can't put everything on the list. So that's my favorite of 3. Watch Broussard. This next story I saw, I just want to tell you in advance, I didn't really understand the version I saw. You'll get this in a second. So I ran it through AI and asked the AI, can you just summarize this and rewrite this for an American audience and convert the currency? Because I'm getting a little confused here. So hopefully the AI has it accurate. The original source is from the India Times. So what caught my attention, comedian Sunil Pal's alleged kidnapping has taken a controversial turn. A leaked audio clip suggests that the $9,000 ransom incident may have been staged for publicity, although the comedian denies the accusation. He had filed a police report in Mumbai claiming that he was abducted and held for 24 hours before paying the ransom. In the audio clip, which, again, the AI is telling me is reportedly edited and manipulated, a voice identified as one of the kidnappers accuses Pal of orchestrating the situation and filing a police complaint afterward. Pal responds, claiming the police contacted his wife, not him, and insists the recording was taken out of context under duress. Police report that 2 suspects are on the run, with CCTV footage allegedly showing them purchasing gold jewelry with the ransom money. 6 individuals have been detained for questioning. Pal claims he was lured to Meerut under the pretense of performing at a comedy show and was abducted by 5 men who initially demanded $24,000 before settling for $9,000. He says the kidnappers even gave him $240 for travel back to Mumbai, promising to repay the ransom once they found work. Just a weird story. All right, Michelle Bateau, she's got a New Year's Eve special, but tonight she's hosting the 2024 Billboard Music Awards, 8 o'clock on Fox. And last week's Saturday Night Live, which was pretty good, I thought. Paul Mescal hosted it. Late Nighter says it drew the show's lowest number of viewers, in this case 3.8 million, since November of 2023. The November 2023 episode was Timothée Chalamet with musical guest Boy Genius. That's pretty good. In the 18 to 49 demo, only 739,000 viewers, also a new low for the show in the demo. This season has been pretty terrible, and last season was, I don't know, was last season worse? Yeah, this season's better than last season. Last season was pretty bad. Late Nighter reminds us it's not unusual for Saturday Night Live to see a seasonal decline in viewership in mid-November to early December. Historically, this is where the show bottoms out every season. And that is your comedy news for today. You hear my voice going again? This is like 2.5 weeks now, whatever the hell I caught. Yeah. You hear that fuzz. All right. See you tomorrow.